Hiya and welcome to the Growing and Growing podcast. I'm Tamara Olukoya.
And I am Olalua Olukoya, and we're nearly wedded.
I can't believe that
Yes,
he has
it's
put a
been
ring on it.
Amazing, and we're so excited about this. But first of all, I'm going to talk about myself. I am a big Christ follower. I'm a big Arsenal fan. I love music.
Yes.
I love to read, and I love to have fun. How about you?
So I am a lover of Christ. I love going to the gym. I have been a gym lover for the past 12 years now. I love podcasts. I prefer listening to a podcast after listening to music. So if there's anyone else that's like that, then please let me know. I love to travel. I love adventure. So whenever I've got a day off, I'm always trying to do stuff together, like hiking or just like experiencing different activities.
And yes, about this podcast or this page, we're going to be doing so many things. Babe, do you want to tell them about the things we're going to be doing?
Yeah, so we love to share what we know, like our wisdom. We want to be able to just impart some of the things that has helped us on our own journeys, and we believe that is going to help some of the people that are listening to this as well. So we're going to be unpacking all things Christian. We're going to be looking into the Bible because that is the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeah.
We are also big lovers of movies.
Yeah.
Marvel has a special place in our hearts. So we're also going to be sharing some of our critiques on some of the most recent films that have come out.
Yeah. And also, we're going to be trying to dive deeper into the financial aspects, especially for growing people, young people, and people that are newlywed. Talking about budgeting, talking about understanding money, and also saving, investing, and the things that we can do to make our lives better in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that even since I've been with you, I've grown so much in that area. So I'm looking forward to all of the lessons that you're going to be sharing with us.
Yes, it's going to be a learning journey for all of us, for both of us especially, and for you, if you're coming along with us. We're going to try to make sure we're as responsive, we're as responsible with the information we're giving you, to make sure there's something that we're using in our own lives too.
Yeah.
And yes,
we want it to be very intentional and things that we're doing ourselves that we know it's been tried and tested. And also along the journey of life, there's so many life lessons that I have personally learned, and also a lot that I've learned from this amazing man.
And very importantly, we're going to try to make sure that we keep in touch with our community. So please drop a like, drop a comment, send us messages if you need us to give you any personal advice. That is why we're here. So we really appreciate the likes and the subscriptions. And so that we can go on this beautiful journey together. So we're going to be talking about food also, especially going to restaurants, giving recommendations, especially for our dynamic of eating. She doesn't have meat, I do, so I would give you recommendation based on what I encounter in restaurants, and she would give you recommendations for people like her. So it's going to be food, it's going to be music, it's going to be movies, it's going to be lifestyle, it's going to be
most importantly,
it's going to be about Christ.
Yes.
Yep.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, how well do you know your Bible?
Ooh. We'll see.
We shall see. But so we're going to do some Bible trivia, and it'll be great for you also to let us know how you get on in the comments as well with some of the questions that we ask. So I'm going to ask him a couple of questions, and then it's going to be switched around, and he's going to ask me the questions as well. So this is it. We're getting straight into it.
Yeah.
So Bible trivia. So the first question.
Well,
what is the shortest verse in the Bible?
Oh, that is easy. That is John 11:35. Jesus wept.
He even knew.
Yeah. Come on.
What? That is correct.
Yeah.
So Jesus wept.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have some big boots to fill. Okay. On the flip side of that.
The longest.
What is the longest?
Not a clue.
Any guess?
You should have not hyped me up.
Any?
You shouldn't have hyped me up. What is
So
it?
it is Esther.
Esther. Interesting.
Yeah, so Esther chapter 8, verse 9, and it is basically a whole paragraph
Oh my.
in the one verse.
Yeah, imagine I had to read all that out. I would think we cheated.
Then the question is, be interesting to see
Mm.
if you can get this one. How long of a period was the Bible written over?
Ooh. Am I going to give you a range or an exact number of years?
To make it very interesting,
An exact. Okay. I'm thinking it is between. I'm thinking it's going to be around 2,000 years.
Final answer?
Let me give you the number. 2,450 years.
Close. Well,
No,
kind of.
that's-
It was written over 1,500 years
that's not.
by 40 plus authors. Okay, so that is question 3.
Okay.
Okay. So, what was the first ever miracle that Jesus performed?
Oh, that is easy. The first miracle he performed was turn water to wine.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. Do you know where it was?
It was at the wedding at Cana.
And do you know the book?
The book is Matthew.
Close.
No. Luke? No, Mark. John? I said all of them.
All of them, but
I got there
you eventually got there.
Yeah. I said Matthew, Okay.
So yes, from John chapter 2, verses 1 to 11.
Okay.
Okay. And then the final question.
Yeah?
What is the one book of the Bible where God is never mentioned?
Ooh. One book that God wasn't mentioned. This is difficult. God was. Would it be Numbers?
I see where you're going with that.
Oh, there's no Numbers, is it?
I'll give you one final answer.
Give me a clue, one clue.
Oh, it's in the Old Testament.
Yeah, can't be in the New Testament. God wasn't mentioned.
And it's something that I say, actually, this might give it away completely, but it's something that I say a lot. You want me to say it?
Yeah.
If I perish.
If you perish, you perish. Wait, first of all, I didn't see one in this Bible who said if I perish, I perish. Oh, I know who said if I perish, I perish. Is it not if I perish, I perish? I don't know. Tell me.
No last guesses?
Wait. If I perish, I perish. It can't be Elijah.
No. Even though I think he almost felt like that at some point.
Yeah. All right, just tell me.
It's the book of Esther.
Esther, Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'm under pressure.
Yeah, under pressure. Yeah. Under pressure.
Okay, so let's see. Okay. First question. Oh, these questions are easy.
Please, you might see them as easy, but...
What? These questions are so easy. Okay. First question, who built the ark?
It was Noah.
What book of the Bible was that?
Oh my goodness. It has to be Genesis.
Yes, Genesis. Yeah. Oh, smash that. Question 2. Who was swallowed by a fish?
Oh, you know what? I read this book for the first time and I realise I can relate to him so much. Yeah. Jonah. It's the book of Jonah.
Why do I have to go there?
And then why do I need to...
Yeah. Okay, so question 3.
Yeah.
All these questions are ridiculously cheap. Where was Jesus born?
That is in Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. What happened? Where did you get my questions? And where are these questions? Okay. And for the last question.
Yeah.
What is the shortest book in the Bible?
Oh, the shortest book. Oh. Is it the Old Testament or New Testament?
It is in the New Testament.
I feel like, do I want to say the book of Jude? It's one of them ones, like, when it gets to like the first, the second, the third John.
One final guess, babe.
So it's not Jude?
It is not Jude.
Oh, goodness. The shortest book of the Bible. Can I have 2 more guesses?
No, one more guess.
2 more.
One final guess. Okay, 2 more guesses.
Is it James?
James, no. Last guess.
I'm just gonna say like 3rd John.
Oh, there it is. I wanted to give you a clue that you already said it because you said the 3rd book of John.
Oh, I thought it would be one of those ones.
Yeah, and we would like to hear from you. Were my questions more difficult than hers?
It's favor.
My questions were extremely more difficult.
Favor.
Okay, no problem. Okay, there we go.
Let us know how you did in the comments as well with those questions. So, the most important date one of the most important dates in the Christian calendar has just recently taken place.
Yeah.
Easter.
One of my favorite holidays.
Oh, really? Why so?
Because it usually is paraded as this time for enjoyment or celebration, but really it is a time for introspect. It's time for us to get perspective on the reason why we are in this journey in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. It is a recognition of the ultimate sacrifice and allowing us to have that intimate relationship with the Father as well.
Yeah.
One thing that I always love to reflect on, over the past couple of years, I'd say, is the great thing about us is that we have the Word, we have the Bible, we have what happened, we have the bird's eye view of what was going on in that situation. But for the disciples that were living in that moment, all they knew on Good Friday was that was what they thought. It was finished.
Yeah.
And they obviously, it was a very, very difficult time for them. They were probably very confused, not really understanding what was going on.
Yeah.
But no one ever speaks about, or not many people speak about the Saturday. Because that Saturday, I can only imagine how dark that Saturday must have been.
Yeah.
Where what they had been believing for the past 3 years, it felt like it was done.
Yeah.
And it was that kind of like tussle of like, do they go back to the life that they had before? Do they go back to being fishermen?
Yeah.
Or do they continue sharing the word, sharing the love of what they've experienced through Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
It's that moment of like, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is coming. And it's great that we know the end product, but they didn't. And there's so many people that are in that situation where, or there might be some people that are in that situation where they're in that Saturday period before the Sunday.
Yeah. And there's one thing that I noticed also, that even in all that confusion, like you said, they still stuck together. They understood the value of community. Because you can be so lost and drift away when you're in the stage or in a time of confusion, that you feel, oh, I can do this better by myself.
Yeah.
And even from the story we heard about what happened to Judas, he isolated himself, and that's when doubt came in. That's when fear came in. That's when lack of self-worth came in.
Yeah.
That's when he couldn't really, he knew that he has made a mistake, but he didn't have people around him to pull him up and say, it's okay, this is part of the plan.
Yeah.
You know? So that is one thing that we need to recognize, that there would be dark times, times of confusion, times when it feels like we are not hearing from God.
Yeah.
But we should always try to find someone that we can get advice from.
Yeah.
Find someone that may have been on the journey before and get some encouragement from those people. Because the reason why Jesus came was so that all of us as a community can make it to heaven. He didn't come for just one person. He came so that all of us can have someone to pull through with.
Yeah.
So that is the message that I got from when you were speaking. That's what came to me.
Yeah, it's so powerful because it just goes to the fact that everything that Jesus does, it is intentional. You know, he could have performed these miracles. He could have traveled, you know, by himself. He didn't need anyone. He didn't need his disciples, but even that was a lesson that we needed to learn from. And even the dynamic of the disciples, he had the 3 or 4 close disciples within that, and then there was 12 in total. But it's just that importance of community, and especially we know that as Christians, we are going to be persecuted. You know, so it's our community that is going to be able to uplift us in those dark moments when we're doubting. I know there's many of us that have felt like, is God even real? Like, they're the people that are going to keep you rooted in those moments.
Yes. And also that the fact that we are in this race with God is a privilege to us.
Yeah.
Because if we take it for granted and fall by the wayside, the work of God would still continue. When Judas fell by the wayside, he was quickly replaced.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to know that the point that we are in is a privilege. We should take it as not what God can do for us, but what we can do for God.
For God, yeah. And that's it. Like, especially even growing up, I know that I needed community. I know that I needed some of the wisdom that I've learned in my life, and you know that you've learned in your life as well. And if we that's part of our service, is to share what we know with others as well.
And talking about crucifixion, on Easter Sunday, we watched, personally, one of my best movies ever created. And I think I mentioned that to you. It's called The Passion of Christ.
Yes.
And it was directed by Mel Gibson. And there is a whole history around it that we would
delve into.
It was just amazing. I could watch that movie 1,000 times and I would still feel every emotion that I felt like I watched it for the first time. So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Starting from the beginning of the movie, there's something I've already spoken to her about even before we decided to make this video. It's about the feeling that we could get from how it started. It started from the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus was obviously stressed. You know, he was sweating blood. That's how stressed it was.
Yeah.
And that's to show us that he is God, but he is in a man.
Yes.
And that man was so evident, even after the 40 days of fasting, after all the preparation, after all the miracles. The body has seen what Jesus can do.
Yeah.
The body has seen what the God in the body can do.
Yeah.
But the body was still so stressed, to the point that the body, Jesus said, Father, if this cup could pass over me. You know?
A lot.
Yeah. Because that is to tell us that even in all the things we're going through, we should give ourselves some grace.
Yeah.
Because yes, there is a Spirit of God in us. There is a Spirit of God in us to guide us on what to do. But the body still exists. Give yourself some grace. Because Jesus died
Mhm.
for us so that we do not sin again.
Yeah.
Our body tends to sin, but Jesus has died for the sins that we have committed, we are committing, and we may
Will commit. Will.
We will commit.
Yeah.
So give yourself some grace. What happens when some people sleep or they backslide?
Yeah.
They listen to Satan. Satan is there to kill, steal, and destroy. Is there to deceive you that, oh yes, you are saved, but if you sin, you're no longer saved. You're saved and you're saved.
Yeah.
When Jesus came to die, he came to die and said, it is finished.
It is finished.
When he said it is finished, it means that our sin, our suffering has finished.
Yeah.
So we should believe that even though we may slip, or even though we will slip,
yeah,
his grace is sufficient for us.
Always sufficient.
So that's the first thing I got from the opening part. And also, he went to the disciples and they were sleeping. These were people that were meant to be watching, and that also shows the humanly part of them.
Yeah.
He has been banging on the fact that there would be a day that would come, and I would be taken and I would be killed, and I would have to resurrect. But they did not understand it.
No.
They did not have the foresight. That's why we might be confused, because we're not looking long term. We're not living in the prophecy that Jesus has for us. Yeah. That's why there might be times that we're confused, or times that we're a bit shaken up, because we're not looking long term. We're looking at the present. Yeah. That is why praying for more understanding of what God's plan is for us, praying for more, is not just praying for riches or praying for happiness. The true happiness is in the fulfillment that Jesus has died for us and we can't sin anymore. The true happiness and the joy is knowing that his plans for us are for good, and not for evil, to take us to an unexpected end. Yeah. So it's when we have that full understanding, the full bird's eye view, like you mentioned, the full scope of the situation that we're in, is when we would be less confused. We would be less anxious. What do you think? Yeah, I think it just the film itself was so emotive. The casting of it, first of all, superb. And just the level of detail I really did appreciate. Yeah. They were speaking Aramaic. Latin. Yeah. Some languages that aren't really used in this day and age anymore. And just the brutality of the crucifixion itself. Yeah. And I really appreciate that they kept it very true to scripture. Yeah. They were not just making up stuff. Yeah. They kept it very true. They didn't add too much stuff. No. Because you mentioned about the baby. Satan, there was a part when Jesus was being tortured. And there was a part that Satan had a baby. Can anyone explain? That was not fun. But I tried to explain as it being a dramatic effect. Yeah. Well, I'm sure there would have been a reason for it. But I felt it was for dramatic effect. And the part at the end that Satan had the wig that fell off. Dumb. Yeah. But that being said, the production was exquisite. Incredible. And there was one thing that you told me about that I've never heard of. What was that thing? The Shroud of Turin. Yes. Yes. So when Jesus was laboring, carrying his cross, there was a person that went to wipe his face with a cloth. And I've seen so many scientists exploring, because the cloth is still in existence. Wow. So many scientists exploring that there's been some 3D image within the cloth, and there's been imprints that are very hard to explain from that age. So it's just to show that the power of God transcends time, really. It transcends time, and it is something that is pure and real. Yeah. This is not facts that can be dispute it.
No.
There are many scientists that have tried to dispute this fact.
Yeah.
And there have been so many scientists that have proven that, yes, there was an earthquake on a certain day that someone was crucified. So, yes, it is real. The world like the world had this big shake when Jesus died. So, it is real.
So real.
And we are privileged to be able to call him our Father. This is someone that is supernatural, someone that is amazing, someone that is essential to creation.
Yeah.
And we can call him our Father. We can attach ourselves to him and be proud of being loved by him.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this to you the other day, that yes, there might be some people that would be like, oh, I don't understand how him dying and resurrecting meant anything.
Yeah.
But if we are sinners because of one man, or through one man we are sinners, that means we can be saved through one man also. We're sinners through Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
And we're now saved through Jesus. So he had to come and die and rise again so that we can rise with him on the last day.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
It's great that this has happened, because I don't know about you, like I've been reading the Old Testament recently. I'm in Numbers right now. And you know, the amount of sacrifices that they had to make to be right with God.
Yeah.
You know, at that time, I know
it was peak over that then, because even the person that is making the sacrifice is not safe.
Yeah.
They had to put a leash around the person, so in case the person dies, they can pull the person's dead body out. You know, that's how ruthless God was then. But now he sent his son. To be the living sacrifice. So through him, we do not have to keep sacrificing. All we need to sacrifice is ourselves.
Yeah. So powerful. So powerful, because I'm obviously pescatarian. I don't want to be, sacrificing lambs and
what would a vegan
throwing
sacrifice?
the blood on the altar. Like it's very, very vivid.
Yeah.
You know, the Old Testament, rightfully so. But I'm so grateful that through his son Jesus Christ, we are redeemed and we have that relationship with him.
Yeah.
And that also being said, so with the Passion of the Christ, we know that it was something that Mel Gibson did create, and he did such a fantastic job of it. Yeah. It was something that was fully funded by his own production company.
Yeah,
Icon. And there's been some very interesting things that did take place in the production and filming and the lead up to it as well. So wanted to share just a couple of things that we found out about the movie as well. So we've touched on one of them, where it was filmed in Latin, Aramaic and Hebrew.
Yeah.
So
impressive.
Very impressive, because with Aramaic, tongue twister that one.
Yeah.
That is most likely what Jesus spoke.
Yeah.
Latin was spoken by the Romans at the time, and then Hebrew as well. And interesting enough, I don't know how this would have went down, but originally Mel Gibson did not want subtitles.
Really? Oh, wow.
Because he felt that people would understand, the emotion and how it was, and feel the story without understanding every word.
That would have been interesting, because they would have been more descriptive with body language and with gesture.
True.
Yeah, they would have been more descriptive with body language, so that we can understand
what's going on,
not verbally.
But I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
And with the main character, so Jim Caviezel, also JC.
Also JC actually.
Yes, he was struck by lightning.
While filming.
Not just once, but twice.
On set.
On set.
Oh, that is.
And even the assistant director got struck by lightning as
Wow.
well. So
That is a big sign.
yeah, it was literally struck by lightning by when filming the Sermon on the Mount, and again during the crucifixion scenes as well.
Wow.
That is insane. There was also a number of people that did get injured whilst filming multiple times. So he actually dislocated his shoulder whilst carrying the cross. And he also developed pneumonia from filming in these freezing conditions, as well as hypothermia. And he was accidentally, and this is one that every time I hear it, I'm just like, oof. He was accidentally whipped for real during the scourging scene.
And that scene was absolutely horrendous to watch.
Yeah.
It was on. I couldn't. It was, and to think that Jesus went through that, and he was still put in front of the people, and they said, "Crucify him."
Still said, "Crucify him."
And he was standing, and he was battered before them, and people still said, "Crucify him." People that invited him into the city just a week before,
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday.
And he was just standing there, blooded, beaten, and they still wanted to crucify him. And these were religious leaders.
Yeah. I think we should use this as a mirror to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we should use it as a mirror to ourselves, knowing that there have been situations that we know that Jesus has done a lot for us, but we still deny him. We still show lack of faith.
Yeah.
You know, the times that we still doubt whether he's listening or is there seeing us or seeing what we're going through, and that is pushing aside all the victories that he has let us have in the past. You know, or all the things that he has gone through for us. Yeah. It is, we should, always have this at the back of our mind that by his stripes we are healed. And whatever we are going through at a particular time is not a reflection of what we are, is a reflection of the journey that God is taking us through to the end, to the expected end.
Yeah. Yeah.
For iron or for gold to be shaped, it has to be melted first. It has to go through the furnace. It has to go through fire.
Yeah. It does. Yeah. It does. Yeah, it's so convicting, and even kind of like similar to what you said during that scene where Jesus was put in front of everyone. They decided to release Barabbas.
Yeah.
And even the actor that played Barabbas, when he looked back at the person that was playing Jesus, he said that in that moment, he felt the love of Jesus.
Yeah.
He felt convicted in that moment, and he actually became a Christian.
He was an atheist.
A full-on blown atheist.
Full-blown atheist. And then he looked at the character, and all he saw was Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you could even see it from the movie. There was a point that he looked at Jesus.
Yeah, that when he looked back just before he was being released, it was just that exchange that took place from death to life. So powerful. Yeah. So we spoke about this one before, but Mel Gibson, he funded it himself. So he funded it with around $30 million because studios felt that this would be too controversial to film, and it wasn't dramatized or completely changed. He wanted to keep it authentic to the scripture. And it ended up making over $600 million worldwide.
I think that's the highest R-rated.
Yeah.
And also there was a part about the guy that played Jesus. Mel Gibson told them that you will be blacklisted.
Yeah.
And it gave him some time to think about it, and then he came back and said, I'll do it.
Yeah. It came with a cost.
Yeah.
You know, and even him, I believe he's Catholic. Jim, who played Jesus. There were several that were, either Catholic or Christian. Even with Judas, he was a atheist as well, and he became
a Christian.
I
think Catholic, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting enough, I didn't know this one, but it was filmed in Italy.
Was it?
And not in Israel.
Oh.
So most of the scenes were shot in Matera. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Matera.
Oh, yeah.
And other parts of southern Italy. So, yeah, they use those locations because it does also look quite like ancient and quite biblical in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
As well.
Remember the parts that the music played and it says biblical music. I always laughed when I saw it.
Yeah.
Biblical music.
Or you listen to it with subtitles online. When there's some parts where there's music on, it will just say biblical music playing. What does that?
Biblical music is funny. That is funny.
What does that even mean? So the crucifixion scene, it took 2 weeks to film this. The final scenes, they weren't quick. It was like long hours on the cross. Harsh weather conditions as well, and extremely physically demanding setup. And this is also where, Jim Caviezel, he suffered from hypothermia, pneumonia, and also being struck by lightning. So obviously all of these things meant that filming did take a long time. I know that there was one part which really got to me. You know, when they were nailing him to the cross. And they needed to stretch his arms. I don't know why, but to the span of like the side panel, like the panel horizontally, and they ripped basically his bone like from his socket. It felt so vivid and real, and it's probably something that, because in that era, crucifixion, it was very common at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they were so brutal.
They were.
Brutal with it.
It was. And the reason why they had to drag his hand was because they already made holes, like divots, in the paddle. So the divots were already made, and that signifies where the nail should go.
Yeah.
So they needed to drag his hand into where the nail should go, basically, which was ridiculous. But thankfully, it wasn't alive on, because usually people that are crucified usually die of exhaustion. So they die of thirst, meaning they've been on the cross for days. You know, it's mostly shame that kills them, because they've been on there for days. But Jesus was not there for days.
No.
Because his job was done. He came to die.
Yeah.
And he died. Yeah. And he needed to resurrect.
And you know what? Even in those moments when he was obviously exhausted, his body was probably, definitely in shock.
Yeah.
He still stayed true to his mission. He knew that he had to fulfill this mission. And I remember when I was younger, I was always thinking, because there's this point when he's on the cross, and you know it in, is it Aramaic or?
Oh, yeah.
And there's this point in the cross when I was singing, and he said, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
And I always used to think because I didn't really fully understand the Trinity at the time. I always thought, well, why is he talking to himself if he is God? And I actually discovered later on is that he was fulfilling the scripture from Psalm. So I believe is it Psalm 91, where David said something similar. And he was fulfilling that scripture, because in that he also, I'm paraphrasing here, but he alludes to it being finished. So even in his final moments, he was fulfilling what he needed to achieve. So that's what it is, you know.
Yeah. And strangely that you mentioned that. What he said
Yeah.
wasn't something that the people there could understand. It was just a different language.
Oh, right.
It was a totally different language. I'm sure the disciples were like, what's he saying? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I found that so incredible to
Yeah.
hear. And then the final thing was that, and this is obvious, this is very obvious from if you've seen the film. If not, I would definitely encourage you to watch it.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait until Easter to watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it today.
Yeah, you can watch it today. The violence was intentionally very realistic as well. So Mel Gibson, he wanted to show the true brutality of the crucifixion, not a softened version. Because I think even with Jesus being whipped, he was whipped. Was it 39 times? Did I just pluck that number from thin air?
Well, I can't confirm that tonight. It was a lot of times.
Because I think it was more than what they would do usually. Which is why even that, like, I couldn't watch. I couldn't watch that. You know, I could hear what was going on. But just knowing that he did that willingly.
Yeah. And even from the movie, there was a time that when he was being flogged, it was first flogged with cane, with a rod.
Yeah, oh gosh.
And all he had on his body were just marks.
Yeah.
And then he went to the ground, they stopped flogging, but he rose up again. And that's when they got the whips with the blades. And I think that is to make that verse of by his stripes we are healed. Yeah. Because he was not getting stripes from the initial cane. He was just getting like marks. But stripes means there's cuts in your body.
Yeah.
So he wanted it. I think that depiction was to show how much he went through for us to be able to connect to that and say we're healed by that. You know? So to show the amount of sacrifice that he went through, for us to connect with, you know?
Yeah.
So that the movie is.
It is.
Yeah.
By far. And he also said, Jim said it was one of the hardest films that he's ever had to make. But there's been so many testimonies from it. Like there was also mass baptism off the back of that. There was also, I think, a member of the crew where their daughter was suffering from seizures, epilepsy, and after filming had taken place, she was completely healed from that, or significantly improved in her condition. But it just goes to show that there's a cost to true discipleship.
Yeah.
But it's a cost that everyone should be willing to pay. So powerful. And if you've watched the Passion of Christ, it'll be great to hear what your takeaways have been.
Yeah, and any parts that we missed that you found very interesting, we would like to see it in the comments. Don't worry, we'll be going through the comments.
Yes.
We'll be paying attention to everything that we had to say. And any facts that we got wrong, please let us know. We are not coming here as people that know everything.
No.
We're just coming here to show that we are on the journey that you hopefully are on also. Yeah. And we're here to help each other grow while staying grounded.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going into the next segment. And it is Real Talk. And we're going to be talking about conversations that we saw during the week that we feel is worth sharing.
Yeah, and also things that we are going to act on from what we've seen as well.
Yes.
So for me, I don't know about you guys, but I have been very conscious of my social media usage and just being online constantly.
Yeah.
Whether that's using social media or relying on ChatGPT. Because I know ChatGPT has got me in a bit of a stronghold.
Yeah, and this is something that I can totally relate with.
Yeah.
Because now I can't even send an email without having to use ChatGPT, even if it's just a short email as a reply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that it makes sense and that, it's proofread.
Yeah.
I don't know, before ChatGPT,
Yeah.
it used to take me so long, and I mean a long time, to respond.
Yeah, there are many things to check.
messages
There are many
and
things to check
emails.
because you have to look at the professional tone to see if you're using the right diction, to see if you're not offending anyone, to see if the message is passed up perfectly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to check when you're sending an email, especially when you're sending it to your boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally get that. But you have something to say about the dependence on it?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of things that I've seen in relation to brain rot. Okay, so we know that with every muscle that we have, if we don't use it, we'll end up losing it. And the brain is just like any other muscle. So I've started to notice that even, being chronically online and also sending emails, using ChatGPT for other things to gain inspo, it can start to seep into or like starve you of that creativity that you do have. And we have all been created as creative beings, because we know from the word the first thing that God did was to create, and we are the image of God, so meaning that we are creative beings ourselves. So we know that we are creative, but when we are constantly affording that, or getting that support from other sources, it does start to starve those instincts that are embedded within each and every one of us. So brain rot is something that I've been very, very interested about, and I did see that there was a recent research from a person that works at CNN, and I saw this on TikTok.
Strangely. Yeah.
And how else am I going to get real news? And he did this study where for 2 weeks he went onto like a Nokia 3210 phone, like an old school phone, where he was able to transfer all of his contacts onto the phone. I think there was like a software that he used, and he was using just that phone for 2 weeks. Before that, he did like a measurement of like his brain activity and usage and cognition. And then they tested it after the 2 weeks, and they'd noticed that it has significantly improved. And he also said that in terms of like his focus, his memory, it did start to improve even in those 2 weeks that he was off of his phone.
Interesting.
And it is a little bit concerning that this is something that we're leaning even more into this. We watched a film recently. What was that film called?
It was called the one with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Ferguson.
Yeah.
It was called Mercy.
Mercy.
Yeah.
So we was watching Mercy recently. It's a new film on online. And is it Netflix?
Was it not Netflix? Prime, I think.
Prime. And it just showed like a real depiction of, it really convicted me because it showed a real depiction of, yes, there's AI, but with Chris's character, I won't go too much into it, he was still using his skills, his resources, and he's working very cohesively with AI.
Yeah.
But for you to even be able to still have those cognitive functions, you have to be exercising your brain.
Yeah.
And I've been very convicted to, be doing that really. So making sure that I'm not, when I'm using my phone, when I'm on the bathroom, like that I'm not just constantly just going to TikTok, because TikTok is where it has been at. But maybe using that time to do like a puzzle or a crossword, or we've recently downloaded an app, and this is not an ad, but
this is not paid. Okay, I mean we would give ads for this app because we use it every night.
Yes, every
So
single
this
night.
is not an ad.
No.
It is not paid yet.
Well, we've been using an app called Elevate, and we do it at night, every single night before we go to bed. But like during the day, because the app is on my phone, I've been using it to do like puzzles, and there's been a couple of puzzles that I've needed him to help me with. But just like using that time to just use my brain, and instead of, I mean, I don't really listen to a lot of music anyway when I'm at the gym, but instead of using that time to just scroll on social media, I'll be watching a podcast.
Yeah.
And we've got a treadmill at home, so just continuing to read my book as opposed to just using my phone for other things, because I know that with our muscles, if you don't use it, you lose it, and I don't want my brain to be aging quicker than it needs to.
And also there's been like different things that humans used to do that is becoming a thing of the past, really.
Like
things like writing, writing with a pen, things like reading off of a paper book. These are things that have shaped who we are a big part of our intelligence, or how far we've come, and we are just pushing it to the side because of our smart devices. Smart devices. Sounds like
older people.
Smartphones. Because of our phones.
Yeah.
And these are things that we should still be in contact with.
Yeah.
Because our brains haven't stopped growing, but they can die. The brain cells can die without the right amount of stimulation, the right amount of reading. There are different parts of the brain, and certain parts are stimulated by our phones, and other parts are neglected by using only your phones. But if you want to activate certain parts, you have to do certain activities like going out on a walk, reading a book, going to a museum, writing, using your brain to create. Going on pottery classes or some event, or going to paint and sip or something. Things like activities that you can do to stimulate your creative side, so that your brain doesn't just drift away.
It's so true. And there's been some research that has also shown that doing these things, as well as learning a new language, learning a new instrument, doing dance classes, because like these all require focus, they require memory, like you need to memorize these things. All of these things keep your brain nice and healthy.
And they also require like brain body's connection, synergy between your hands and your brain. So it's not just swiping or to the left or to the right, or up and down. Requires a bit more nuance, body parts moving when it comes to dancing, strokes of the hand when it comes to painting. Learning a new instrument requires motor skills. So these are ways that we can connect our brain to our other parts of our bodies, and not just drifting away through the algorithm.
Drifting away from the algorithm. That's definitely a good one. And so I know that there's been a couple of times when you said, you're addicted to your phone or social media, and I always used to say, well, no, I don't think I am, but perhaps I am.
Perhaps everyone is.
I know, and that's a scary thought. I know usually when I do go on holiday, like I love to just put my phone on airplane mode. I don't know, like there's something that I quite like about knowing that the only God and I know where I am in the world. Like I find that so empowering. So I find it very easy to switch off then.
When you're on holiday.
But like on a day-to-day basis, it becomes almost like a crutch, I guess.
You feel it most when you're in a place that has no network. You feel how useless you feel when you're not attached to any network. You can't go on any. They've made it so dependent on internet service. It made your phone so dependent on internet service that when you don't have any connection, it feels like the phone is absolutely useless. Or maybe our brains have just been rewired into needing the constant scrolling,
Yeah.
constant feed.
Yeah.
You know. So
scary.
we're looking into how we can. How do you think we, both of us, can assist each other in making sure that we find other things to stimulate our brains with?
That's a good question, because I mean, even you notice it even in your vocabulary.
Yeah.
You know, when you're online so much.
Mm.
So how I think it is focusing on doing an activity together on a regular basis, continuing to do our Elevate together.
Yeah.
You know, that's been so valuable. And we discuss about learning a new language as well.
Yeah.
So that would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
I think sometimes with things, I always try to go in everything all at once, and then as quickly as I fall into something, I fall out to something. So
keep it simple.
Keep it simple, and then we can add to that, because I would love to, I mean, you know that I'd love to do a dance class.
Yeah.
And I'd love to learn or relearn, you know, an instrument. So, but in due time, I think those are good foundations.
Yeah. One, I'm going to say, which I'm going to really try hard at, is not taking your phone when you go into the toilet.
So if I do that, you have to do that as well.
Yeah, I will try.
Yeah.
I will try. We have each other to keep ourselves accountable. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so that is something that you can try also this week, whenever you're going to the toilet to have a shower or to do whatever you want to do. Yeah. Just leave your phone in the room.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would even spend less time in the toilet if you don't go with
They
your phone.
do say that, and to be honest, I mean, not going into too much detail, but you're not meant to spend that long on the toilet straining.
No. Got out.
Yeah, 5 minutes max, about a minute.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
So we've come to the end of this section, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we're just going to round up.
Yes.
This has been really amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be as beneficial for us as it is for you.
Yeah.
We're going to learn more about ourselves.
Yes.
Increase our communication skills, and also try our best in building a beautiful community, not just solely on number, but on content.
Yeah, quality as well.
Yeah.
You know, we want it to be intentional. We want us to all learn from each other, because we're not the experts by any stretch of the imagination. If there's anything that you would love to share with us, we would definitely be grateful to hear of that as well.
Yeah. And talking about sharing, we would love some questions for you, so we can do a Q&A session next episode.
Yes.
So ask us any questions. We should ask them not to make it personal though, but ask us questions. Ask us questions, and we will do our best to answer them. In fact, you know what? Ask us any question. Any question, and we'll try our best to answer them as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been an absolute pleasure
Been.
connecting with you and also with you.
Yeah.
And looking forward to seeing you next time on Growing and Grounded.
Yes. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
See you guys on the next episode. This is Mr. and Mrs. Olukoya.